Sherry K. Loves Yarn and Crochet, and for the past month Chris and I have been talking about doing a little bit of homesteading. You know that last year you saw a video that we built the greenhouse, but in November we had a very large snowstorm and it tore it down. So we will be rebuilding that this spring, but we have decided to bring in some more chickens and some geese, and maybe later on some sheep, cow, and some goats. And we've got to build up our chicken and goose housing. So if you want, follow us and we'll head down to the barn. Well, this is the upper part of the property, just a few feet from the greenhouse. We are going to clear out all this land right here where you see all the scrub, and we've got about 1/4 of a mile down to the river that we can clear out, and we're going to be using that for livestock. We're going to be fencing off a bunch of this to house and let the geese and the ducks and the chickens roam and be able to get bugs and fresh grass and whatnot during the spring and summer and fall. So if you'd like, we can take a walk and we'll show you what we'll be doing. And Chris is running the camera, so. And it's like -8 degrees today. It's Saturday the 30th of January. Right now, the chickens have this whole section. 4 years ago, we did have a bunch of chickens and ducks and guineas. Right up here behind us is what is called the rail trail, and we had somebody come in and try to take out our animals. We ended up selling them all off, and that was about 4 years ago.
To protect them.
Just to protect them, because the person, we know who did it, but we couldn't prove it. We have installed some cameras on the barn. We just have to get them running. That way we have protection, and they can be hooked up to our phones, I believe. But we're going to be going inside the barn so you can see what we're going to be doing. But this area we're going to build out so that they have more coverage from the weather and rain. And we're going to go inside and show you what we're going to reconfigure the barn for their housing. All of this back here is going to be fenced off. We're going to put in electrified movable fencing. So, because we do have coyotes and fox, we want to protect them when we're not home. Roxy is a house dog. She is not a guard dog, even though we know she would probably try to protect her animals, and we've got to train her to be mindful of them, because right now she just wants to play with them.
They're just feathered cats.
Yeah. But all of this will be fenced in and different housing. Do we want to take a walk a little further down?
No, because that can be something we do later.
Okay. So we're going to go inside the barn. It's a little warmer inside. Just bought my new egg basket. You can tell them. Yes, guys, yes. Roxy, where are you? Okay. This was our rabbit house, or tractor. We would put our baby rabbits in there until they got big enough to put into houses. Like I said, we ended up getting rid of all of our farm animals just for their safety. Now this building is an old
slate mill that we tore down, and the only thing we kept was the concrete block wall of the original building because everything else was so rotted and molded over.
But we're going to combine these two doors. These used to be runs for the chickens that we did for breeding. We had multiple different breeds that we were trying to hatch eggs that we sold at swap meets or farmers markets. But
we also did donations to the local food shelf,
yeah,
and the senior center as well.
But there's a lot of things that still need to be done to this to make it habitable for the animals that we want to bring in.
We have brand new nesting boxes coming, and these will no longer be here. This will just be for tool storage and grain storage out here.
Right.
When we came in, she stepped on the egg and broke it, so we'll just have to remember to
No,
get rid of
that was already broken.
All right.
Connor left it
So,
there.
tell them what we're going to do in here.
Okay. This in here, which is now their roost, they come in here to sleep. There is a concrete pad under here, but we're going to put fencing up in here and then put concrete on the walls to make it safe for the brooders. We're going to be putting our babies in here. There is, anytime you live in the country and you have animals, there's rats and weasels and mink, so we want to keep them safe.
And being that the river is just down the way, we've seen mink and come up here and stuff.
There's many different animals, and of course it has a locking door that they can't get into. But yeah, it's going to be a good size project for us, but this is something we've been wanting to get done. And no, we have not named our chickens or our roosters. We have more chicks coming in, I believe, June.
And what kind are those?
And they are
salmon flavored.
salmon favorals.
And they'll be here before June. It's the geese that won't be here till June.
And the geese will be here in June. But we are getting Toulouse.
Yep.
And Emded.
Yep.
Geese, which they produce pretty decent size eggs, and the chickens are a winter hardy breed. That's what I tend to go for.
What kind are these?
These are golden laced red Wyandottes.
Yep.
Right?
They're golden lace Wyandottes, which
Okay.
are red.
But yes, I know, we're in your spot.
And why did we get these?
Why did we get these?
So on the females, they have very, if you let me get closer, they have very small combs and wattles. And on the roosters, this gentleman will stay still, they have what are called rose combs, which are really flat, like a silky, but they don't as generally as much get frostbite like the regular chickens do. Because the worst thing is to having a pretty chicken is to have them sitting around with black combs on a chicken that's supposed to be red, because they've gotten frostbite.
Now, my favorite breed of chicken is the Lavender Orpington, but their combs are about that tall on their head, and they get frostbite very easily. And like I said this morning when I brought Roxy out to do her thing, it was 7:30 in the morning and it was minus 15. So even though they are protected from the weather, it's still cold in here. Once we get this all set up as a brooding station, there will be heat lights in here, so the chicks will stay warm.
Right, and we'll also have the incubator cabinets in
Yeah.
here. Now, just to give everyone an idea, this is how much manure chickens generate, and this is only the end of January, and there are 17 chickens in here, but because of the snow on the ground, they like to hide in here. So this is what they've generated. So this will not be this year's garden soil, but this will be next year's garden soil. And there is heavy sand in here, and there's also
There was wood chips.
there's pine bark and maple wood chips in here. And the reason I use maple is because it being a hardwood, it doesn't turn into mush right away. And so what happens is all this gets taken out in the spring, and then once it's all gone, all new stuff gets put in. I think next year what we're going to do in the spring, because of the mud season around here, is we're going to turn it into pea gravel.
Stop.
And just a helpful idea to anyone, if you're always looking for something to keep your chicken food in, or your livestock food in, these ice cream freezers from your local convenience store go bad all the time and end up sitting out behind the building. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I got that one from the school that I work at. We changed ice cream vendors, and this was, they didn't want to take it back, and they said that we could take it. So that's where this came from. And if we can find more, we'll definitely use them for the grain, because it keeps the mice and rats and whatever else likes grain out of it.
Moles.
But we had seven different breeds that we were trying to do.
My favorite are the Brahmas.
Yeah, love Brahmas, but like I said, they have very large combs. What are you chewing on now? Hey, Rox. Hey, here, I got something for you.
She found a stick.
Roxy, sit. Good girl. We will be turning these into larger pens for the chickens and geese as we go further down.
And these will only be pens for them to sleep in at night, not something that they stay in during the day.
Found another frozen egg. Oh,
Oh, there's a whole chicken there, Sherry.
whole chicken there.
She found a spot she liked, and she's gonna stay there.
Yep. Hopefully she goes back in my corner. But we ended up taking stuff off.
We took roofing off of this chicken house in order to build that, which is a tow behind
Chicken tractor.
chicken tractor, while these guys weren't laying eggs yet, and we were still living at the other house. Now, this will be all redone with a full roof all the way to the end of these runs to keep the moisture down on them when they're in there relaxing at night and in during the wintertime.
But if you can, I don't know if you can see down through that scrub brush, all of that will be cleared out.
Now, the field with the Christmas trees we don't own, but from here down to the river, we do.
And that's where we hope to
Dig a pond.
dig a pond for ducks and geese. Maybe put a cow out there so that we can not have to deal with buying at the stores. Try to become more self-sufficient.
Just so they know, why don't you explain what this is here that we're standing on, this whole plateau? So, because this was a slate mill,
Oh, it's basically,
this is all grindings.
it's all grindings. It's rock chips and hard to dig.
Yeah.
And
So the field out there is grown over with scrub brush and with tree line that we'll take down, we'll clear out,
come here. Sit.
and
Good girl.
they will have better grazing areas. Where this, at least up here, is nice because this won't become muddy and boggy in the spring, which is referred to around here as mud season.
Yeah, there's 5 seasons in New England. Winter, spring, summer. Let's put that differently. Summer, fall, winter, spring, and mud.
And mud can encompass most of summer, sometimes.
But so, let me know what you think. He's trying to tell me what to say because I just drew a blank. Let me know what you think. Give us any ideas on fencing, housing, brooding, raising, feed, whatever. Give us your thoughts down in the comments below. Take care, stay warm. Time for go in and get some hot coffee because I's cold. So take care, guys. Love y'all.